Okay, so this is Shrub's replay. Shrub, if you're in chat, identify yourself so everybody knows who you are. It's a team replay. Thank you, by the way, to Froggy Men's for the brand new Prime and Jabobtar for the 3-month Prime. I really appreciate that. Including the 2 in the queue. Well, you've only got 1 in the queue, but I'll add the next one to the queue after. But yes, including. So 6 altogether. Anyway, let's get into this 3v3 replay. I'm going to turn the volume down. We don't need that for this. Like the recovery on the back wall there. Maybe a bit wasteful with the boost that we did have. We knew that we're not likely to get more. So we've turned to notice. Well, we noticed that hard clear about to come, and we turned to face it. But we were pretty close to our teammate before that, though. GC, if that's the real Daniel. Well, so far I think GC's a decent bet from what we've seen. This looks like a relatively clean game. Looks like we were trying to play that off the sidewall, which I like as well. There's a lot of decent things going on so far. But, yeah, by the looks of things, our team kind of got in a bit of trouble knowing whose ball this was. Okay, so Shadow has no boost, so he has to call for the other guy to go up for this. Give me mangoes. Yeah, he's just assuming that his teammate at the near post has got that. But yeah, with better communication, you would be able to say, or the near post guy would say, I don't have that. And the guy behind him would just jump straight over his head without any hesitation. And it needs to be immediate in 3s if that's going to work. Yeah, let's take a look at this again. So we've turned to the left, or yeah, we're turning to the right, sorry. After getting the boost. Misread the ceiling bounce. This is definitely too late to be jumping up for that, though. If you don't read, if you're not up before the bounce, well, if you're not up a good bit before the bounce, like basically as fast as you can be, then you probably shouldn't be going in a lobby that looks like this. Oh, nice save by Shadow. Not sure about that touch, though. That's probably a pass to the opponent. It is. Luckily, we got away with it. So, in this position, one of our teammates is still landing in the box. The other one just ran down the line. If you had someone in your team ready in the goal, ready to immediately drive off the goal line, then this touch here, you could call that a pass back to him because he can attack it. But we just saw him landing, so he's not going to be able to get there. We need to be playing that ball a bit more up the wall. It's just not safe to bounce it off the wall like that. Okay, so we've faked the challenge grab boost. I like that. Now we're just getting out of the way. This is all fine. Do I cast replays too instead of like reviewing? I can do. Bit harder to do with 3s because I don't know all the names of the players who are in the lobby, so I can't really get that right very much. What's this argument that's going on in chat? You think that NA is 2 ranks higher than EU? They're practically the same. They're practically the same. All depends on playstyle. I would be interested to know. Sunless did a video. Well, I'm gonna say, cause yeah, I watched that video from Sunless because I was in it. It was pretty funny, but that video is hardly like proof of anything because there's just such a small sample size. So it's a cool video, but it doesn't really. It's not what I base my opinion of EU versus NA off. My opinion of EU versus NA ladders is entirely based on, you know, the games I've played on both servers. And looking at the rank ladders. But yeah, it also depends on the playlist. 3v3, 3v3 might be the closest. I think 3v3 is identical these days. I mean, I don't know. I hear a lot of people sometimes like bringing out this opinion. It's been happening for a lot of the last year, ever since NRG got Turbo Pulsar ages ago. There's been a lot of people saying, like, random comments on Reddit or on Twitter, or I've seen clips of people saying this in stream, that they're like, man, I think the NA's at the top level is way ahead of EU right now. And I'm like, where does that come from? I don't get that take at all. I don't see it myself. When I watch NA 3v3 at the very highest level and EU 3v3 at the very highest level, it looks extremely close in skill. But I'm guessing that because NA is a bit more aerially, people think it's better, when really that's never, you know, made one region better than the other. Like, NA's always been a bit more aerially, and it used to be worse as a region. Yeah, I've talked to people who say stuff like that they think NA is way ahead of EU right now, and I'm like, what? How can you come to that conclusion? I don't get it. I think they're at the very highest level. They're the same. They're the same. I think the 32nd best team in EU is probably a good bit better than the 32nd best team in America, in North America, but the best teams are all extremely close. I'm liking the rotation that you guys have got, by the way, Shrub. Well, the real standout thing for me that I want you to keep doing is you give your teammates a lot of space. You try not to crowd one area of the map, of the pitch, and that makes it extremely easy to avoid double committing. Makes it a lot easier to avoid double committing, I'll say. Oh, okay, we just about got up for that one. Maybe unnecessary risk there for the boost seal. Didn't really open us up too much for a pass. We already had 40 boost. I don't know if it's necessary to do that. Oh dear, well, we've totally misread this one. At least we went for the corner wall pass after realizing that our shot wasn't going to be very good, or, you know, hit towards the back wall wasn't going to be very good. Don't know about that one. It's third man, and we've missed the mid boost on the way down as well. This is really bad news. Really bad news, right? It has to be a 50-50 here. It's the only play. Looks like you were kind of going for one, and yeah, you did get one. Alright, so we weren't sure when the mid boost is spawning, so we've gone for this back corner one instead, but yeah, the mid boost did just appear. It's a bit unlucky timing on that. Player name tier list. Entirely subjective tier list. I think I would be biased towards player names that are fun to cast. Like, fun to shout when they do something cool. Alright, good bailout on that aerial. And it's worked out really well, so that's something else that I would like to give you credit for, is that when you realize that something isn't going to plan, you do bail out of it quite quickly. So that's good stuff. Like Doomsy. Yeah, Doomsy's a great one. Two-syllable names are the best to shout. 3 is also pretty decent, but 2 is usually the best to yell. Most hype. Tyler40, thanks for the 2-month prime, and also DNA Workshop. I can't read. Thanks for the 6-month prime. So we have flipped onto the boosting kickoff. I don't really like that because it often boost starves your guy who did the kickoff. Luckily for him here, the mid boost wasn't taken, or else he would have been boost starved, but sometimes it's not there and he gets boost starved. Simple as that. Yeah, I totally mean that one. Poo goal scorer tier list. I feel like that has to be a Marky Duda video. Alright. Good job hitting it into the corner there. Not getting dunked on is the key. Okay, well, I don't know what your plan was there, but that's an interesting outcome that we've kind of lobbed it out into the middle. This is a topic that I'll pause very quickly to go over. So, if you were listening to my casting at the weekend, you'll have heard me criticize a lot of clears that were straight down the middle like this, and that's because at pro level, they're very often shut down immediately. However, in ranked, you can sometimes get away with lobbing the ball up into the middle if you've got a teammate ready to attack that ball, and that's the if. If you have a teammate ready to attack that ball, it's fine. Now, where would ready be? Where would a teammate be if he's ready to attack this ball? He'd be around about here, just like off in the other lane to the right. And then you wouldn't want to hit it straight down the middle. You'd kind of want to hit it across. So do we have somebody in that position ready? No, we do not. No one is ready here to attack that ball. Now, if somebody communicated that they're ready to go up, then, you know, clearing it straight down the middle isn't so bad, especially in ranked, where clears aren't really denied as often as they are at pro level. Yeah, that would have to be communicated for this to be safe. Otherwise, it's just going to get sent straight back into your goal line area, and it makes it worthless. So this is another one of these clears that your brain is telling you, okay, the other team's goal is to the right. Let's hit the ball right. So you hit the ball to the right, but actually by doing so, you ended up just giving it away. If you'd hit the ball straight forward, it would have been a better pass to the guy behind you. Just bounce it off the wall here, straight back, and then this guy can hit it. This has been a pretty decent game though. Right, back wall, nice, good read. Oh, teammates gotta leave that though. Like this is maybe another, I don't know if you guys are playing with comms or something, but at this point you would be like, I've got back wall, so that this shadow dude doesn't jump, because if you say you've got back wall, he wouldn't jump up for this. And then you're in a amazing position to pass the ball down to give me mangoes. So the counter attack would have been really, really quick there compared to this one. You said Middle East is overall better than EU or NA. I mean, based on what? You can't... There's like zero evidence for Middle East being better than EU or NA. It's quite obvious that NA and EU are the dominant regions in Rocket League by an absolute mile, and Middle East is... I would say it's up there with OCE and South America. It's right, well, I'd say it's right there with South America and OCE, but definitely not better. For ones, well, Middle East isn't better than Europe for ones either. Europe's way better in terms of depth of talent. I mean, KSA just lost to England in a 1v1, in a little 1v1 series. England are insane right now. Netherlands are insane right now. France are obviously, when Fairy Peak's not playing like he was the other day, pretty insane as well. Right, let's get to the end of this overtime. In case it's a super long one. Okay, it's not too long. Yeah, Middle East are not better overall than NA or EU in ones either, and it's not close. Regions is regions. Again, still, they're not. Middle East are not as good as EU or NA at once. Simple as that. The best players are as good. Like, the very top players are as good. But the region as a whole is not. Like, if you take the 50th best Middle East 1v1 player and you put him against the 50th best European 1v1 player, the European 1v1 player is going to win. Same thing, if you take the 50th best Middle East 1v1 player and the 50th best American 1v1 player, the American player is going to win. 100th best American player versus 100th best Middle East player, American player wins again. Like, as you go down, the region as a whole has far, 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 far more talent, and it's not even close. And thinking it's close is completely delusional. But why would it be close? It would be crazy if it were close. What a save. Really nicely done there, Shrub. Yeah, why would it be close? The Middle East has a population that's far smaller than EU and NA in terms of player base. The player base is tiny. Oh, that's a bit unlucky. Bit unlucky at the end there with these diving saves. I love that previous diving save though. That was impressive. Clear balls were a bit of a struggle this game, but a lot of the ideas were there. Communication was definitely a struggle this game. Again, I'm not sure, Shrub, how much you guys were communicating this game, if you're just kind of playing for fun. But yeah, in a game against opponents who are playing as quick in the air as these guys were, you can't go up if you're not immediately up in the air. Basically, try not to go up unless you know you're winning a race to a ball. It's like if you see the ball go up in an area that you can attack and you're not sure if any of the opponents are going for it, you're probably wasting your time. The best players pretty much never have to guess if they're winning a race to the ball. They just know because they can see it. So the vision is key. But yeah, I would guess this is a Grand Champ lobby easily. Shrub. Probably this game, based on this game, I would say 1600-ish. But I wouldn't be surprised if their other team have some players who are much higher. But yeah, Shrub, do you want to reveal what this lobby is? Twitch chat can throw their guesses as well. Got it perfect? Yes! 1600. Yeah, really interesting game actually, because the other team, it felt like the other team were dominating, but you guys are really not far off. That's the real Daniel, and you got your third 1650. Yeah, you guys are not far off being able to be competitive in this, and I think communication is easily the top thing for you guys to do. Communicating where you are, what you can do quickly, succinctly, will make a big difference. You know, thinking about when that backboard play is coming in, you've just got to say something like, I've got backboard. That's it. Before the other team make their hits on the ball, say, I've got backboard, because then obviously if they hit the ball to the backboard, your teammate who's in goal knows that you've got the backboard already. They don't jump, they don't take themselves out of position, they don't waste their boost. In fact, they get in position to follow up your touch. So that would be the biggest change. And yeah, the second change would definitely be to try not to give the ball away with your clears, but that's definitely something that you can push to the limit in ranked. It's not the same as in professional play at all. But yeah, that was Shrub in chat. Big thanks to him for sending that replay.